What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be starting our color challenge, and today's color is going to be mono white. Now, as an introduction to the color challenge, I'll go ahead and break down how each video is going to work and sort of how we're going to lay things out. These videos are meant to be a little bit shorter, as I'm going to be speeding up the matches and sort of running through them rather quickly. We'll be playing 5 matches with each color. So for mono white here, we have 5 matches with this mono white weenie-ish, mutate-ish sort of deck, and we end up going 3 and 2 with it, but we'll get on into that later in the video. Now, before we go and hop into any more details about this or that or whatever, I would like to remind you, if you enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section if you have any suggestions on this video, future videos, or past videos. Furthermore, if you're new here, consider subscribing. It's a great way to support the channel and you know, get a notification whenever I go live or post or do any of that good nonsense kind of stuff. So on into what we are actually playing here today, the cards, the magic, the stuff that's happening. Alrighty, so on to what we're actually playing here today. This deck is only running 22 lands as a heads up, and you'll notice that the end product is not exactly the same as what you'll see in the first few matches, and that is because I edit the deck as I go along, as this is a ranked sort of theme video, right? So we're trying to take it very seriously, and if I realize that the deck's doing bad and I realize what the problem is, I'm going to fix it. I'm not going to leave it how it is, and I'll give you all the finished product of what I have. And then furthermore, in these videos, I'm going to talk about what I would change about the deck, what I like about the deck, what I dislike about the deck, and you know, all those good meaty details. So on into what we're actually playing. We do only have 22 lands. It is an aggro deck. As I said earlier, it is a mono white weenie-ish sort of mutate deck. It's very fun, very sort of weird. It is based off Lifegain as well. So a couple notes here. You'll see that we have Daxos in the deck in these first few videos of it, or these first few matches rather, and then later on we have Daxos taken out of the deck, and that is because he really just wasn't working. Gem Razor, there you see our opponent has, is just very, very good. I don't know if it'll be aligning with the right match or not, but Gem Razor is a very, very good mutate creature that I expect to see a lot of, so I took Daxos out as a preemptive, let's get ready for this meta kind of thing, and then I added in a few other cards. So reading from the list, we have 3 copies of Drannith Magistrate, 3 copies of Hushbringer, 3 copies of Stormwild Capridor, 2 copies of Huntmaster Liger, 2 copies of Glass Casket, 2 copies of Unbreakable Formation, 4 copies of Banishing Light, 2 copies of Revoke Existence, 2 copies of Sentinel's Eyes, 2 copies of Alseid of Life's Bounty, 3 copies of Heliod Sun Crown, 3 copies of Linden, the Steadfast Queen, 3 copies of Ajani's Pridemate, and 4 copies of Fight as One. Now, as I said, this is a very low cost, low curve deck. The Hushbringers, the Drannith Magistrate, they're meant to shut your opponents down as far as playing all the cat oven stuff, that bring your stuff back from the graveyard and all this and that, right? Drannith Magistrate just shuts down almost everything, right? Companions, stuff coming from exiles, anything that's not coming from their hand, Drannith Magistrate will shut it down, which is super awesome and super fantastic, especially whenever you're playing against all these crazy mutate decks, all these crazy cycling and whatnot. Of course, cycling still works because you're playing it from your hand, but you know, whatever, I got off topic. So yeah, this deck works wonders at doing what most mono white Lifegain decks do, and that is hitting very hard very quickly with something like an Ajani's Pridemate, or something like a Healer's Hawk combined with a Heliod, or something like Linden's combined with a Heliod. Anyways, you get the point. And then I tried spicing it up a little bit by throwing in the King Caesars or the Huntmaster Ligers to give you that bonus of what if your lifelink creatures just don't sort of go off and you're not really hitting. What's another way we can take this deck and sort of ram through them? And so that's why we have the Unbreakable Formation and the Huntmaster Liger, because even if your Ajani Pridemates aren't sticking, even if your creatures that are meant to be building you counters aren't sticking, you still have these other ways of building the rest of your board out. Stormwild Capridor I really enjoy, as it'll take all the non-combat damage and just turn it into +1/+1 counters. And as people don't really think about things such as shocking your Capridor or deafening clearing the board while it's down, it's so far been a very fantastic card. Now it can still get board wiped by things such as Kaya's Wrath and Time Wipe, all that fantastic stuff. Another awesome new card that I found to work wonders in this deck is Fight as One, mostly because you have a pretty solid combination of humans and non-humans in this deck already. A Johnny's Pridemate, non-human. Linden, human. Drannith Magistrate, human. Hushbringer, non-human, right? So you sort of have a nice little even balance between the two, so Fight as One really ends up protecting two creatures a lot of the time. Now, I will say I would probably kick up one copy of Glass Casket just because I've still seen a whole lot of cat oven decks, and honestly they're so very annoying to deal with. Probably cut out a copy of Banishing Light, just to be honest. Revoke Existence has been working awesome for me. It deals with cat ovens, it deals with a lot of things like Annex and other gods that are just really annoying. It's very cheap, right? I think it's only a common as well, as only being 2 mana, so fantastic there. Sentinel's Eyes is sort of a buff that you can give to your creatures. It gives them vigilance, which is super huge, and it's a buff that can be replayed from your graveyard, so that's nice as well. Now, a few things I would change about the deck, or a few things I have changed about the deck, whatever you want to call it. I would take out a copy of Stormwild Capridor. Actually, I do enjoy the card. I feel like it has its place in the deck, or it has its place in a mono white Weenish deck. But I would throw in something such as Raise the Alarm. Nice thing about Raise the Alarm, it gives you soldier tokens. Not human soldier tokens, just soldier tokens. So you can actually still mutate onto them with your Huntmaster Liger. It increases your numbers as far as people on the board goes. And I found that Stormwild, while yes, it's great, a lot of people are still just running straight up destroy removal, right? That just destroys your creature. So that stuff sort of doesn't really work in Stormwild's favor. I did take out a Daxos, as I had mentioned. I would throw in another Glass Casket, as I had mentioned. And then other notable Ikoria cards. Light of Hope is an instant speed spell. It is a common, so it's very cheap for people that don't have a whole lot of wild cards. And the nice thing about this card is it sort of has this selection of goods, right? You can gain 4 life, you can destroy an enchantment, or you can place a counter on a creature. So it's really versatile in what it's able to do. And I feel like that is sort of the beauty of it, right? It's instant speed, so up against mono red aggro or any aggro really, gaining 4 life for that cheap of mana, very nice. Being able to destroy enchantments, sure, it's not going to really work on cat ovens as those are artifacts, but there are a lot of enchantments in standard right now that still do a whole lot of good. And then placing and counter, you never know when you might need that combat trickery to just keep your creature alive or simply in the game. Lavabrain Venturer, I think, is a solid body on the field. It is 3 mana, but being able to be just completely protected from even or odd converted mana cost spells, I feel like may come in handy. Next, we have Cub Warden / Vulpikeet. Both of these, I figure, could be interesting in-game cards. So the Vulpikeet is a mutate card that gives your creature flying, and it says like it gets an additional +1/+1 counter whenever it mutates or something like that. But the main thing here is being able to give a creature flying and then putting 1 additional counter on it all in the same turn, as well as it just being able to come down and attack. So it's a nice way to sort of boost up your Johnny's Pridemates to just finish, right? It gives them that evasive maneuver sort of to end the game that your opponent may not be expecting, as well as going back to earlier when I said add in Raise the Alarm, it gives you something to boost up those little tokens, those little creatures with, right? Give them flying and make them into something a lot bigger and a lot more worthy of being on the battlefield, I guess. Whatever. And then Cub Wardering is just sort of that go wide strat, right? So I thought about going for a mono white Weenies where you're going for the Convoke Elephant once again. I can't remember the name of it. It's Loxodon something or another, right? But I thought Cub Warden might be a nice little addition to a deck such as that, so I figured we might try something like that out. And then maybe a Mothra, but if you're going to go for a Mothra, I would definitely take out the Hushbringer, as those are sort of a non-bo. And if you're going to take out the Hushbringer, you might as well add in something like a Daxos. I don't know if it would be a Daxos necessarily, because again, Gem Razor has been very prevalent, but even an Impassioned Orator I feel like would do, fairly good in a deck such as this. Alrighty, that is going to do it for me in this video. I'm going to let the rest of the matches play out, and I am going to play through all of them, wins, loss, people auto-conceding, because that's what's going to be our total rank, right? And I don't want it to be skewed either which way. Now, I will go ahead and say this. after I played this. I had originally intended to go straight to Azorius, but I thought about it and I figured going through all the monocolors would be best first. So I did lose a match with an Azorius deck right after getting done with this recording for this match, so you'll notice we're sort of down a rank. But whatever. Come next video, we'll make it back up, right? So again, thanks everybody for watching so much. I appreciate your support, your continued viewing, and all that fantastic stuff. And I hope these videos are actually informative and you know, beneficial to y'all, because otherwise I'm just sort of, you know, wasting my time. Anyways, again, I'm going to get out of here. Once more, if you enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like down below, as it does help each and every individual video as well as the channel as a whole. If you have any comments, suggestions for this video, future videos, or past videos, be sure to leave them down below. And of course, if you're new here and you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to subscribe. Let me know that you enjoy this kind of content so I know that, you know, this is why you're here. And I'll try to put out more and more and more of it. Of course, this is a series that I intend on continuing on the channel, but the more support that a series gets, obviously, the more I want to show it support myself. So yeah, click subscribe, click that bell icon out beside it. And of course, if you didn't already know, we do have a Discord channel for this YouTube channel. It's down in the description of each and every video, so if you want to join, just feel free to click. There's no barrier to entry. We welcome all, and yeah, try to have fun with it. So again, I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy the matches, and I will see y'all later. Peace.